Hello, it's Miss Nicole of Legacy Lineage Online Learning in collaboration with Youth on Fire to present Story Time. And parents, we have another Earth Day story coming up as our theme for Earth Day was Make Earth Day Every Day. So we have spent last week and we will finish with this week talking about Earth Day. Today I have a fun pop-up story. So in our last story we read Our Earth, and in Our Earth it talked about different parts of the earth, and one of the parts of the earth it talked about was the frozen, icy cold North Pole or South Pole. Maybe both. Anyways, I'm going to, let's see, it says actually frozen North Pole at the top and icy cold South Pole. So this story is for today. And look, there's a footprint. Whose footprint can it be? Well, this is a fun pop-up story. So we're going to find out. And we're going to find out if this book, I can't remember if it is in the North Pole or the South Pole, but I think the story will tell us. So let's find out about the adventures in this book. And it's called If I Were a Polar Bear. And that's different because usually the front of the book tells us the title. But this time, the side of the book tells us, if I were a polar bear. So I'm going to read the words and then show you the pop-up pictures. White as an iceberg from head to toe. I'd set out alone across the snow, the boldest explorer you have ever seen. If I were a polar bear, look, let's see. If he was a polar bear, he'd be the boldest explorer. And look. Is that an icy cave? Maybe where the polar bear lives? And did you see his footprints going across the snow? I want to be sure you got a chance to see those. All right, let's see what happens on the next page. Oh, house popped up. Let's see. I'm sure I'd discover the old snowbound shack of explorers who came but got cold and turned back. Can you pretend it's cold for me? What do you do when it's cold? Do you bring your body close together because you're cold? I'd shout out, hello, is there anyone out there? It's me, the Polar Explorer Bear. And you see his footprints again. Walking past the shack. If I were a polar bear stopping to play in the soft white snowfall that blankets the day, I'd leave such an excellent silhouette. Future explorers would find it, I bet. And let's see what kind of silhouette the polar bear left. Have you ever made a silhouette like that? If so, when? What season is it when you make a silhouette like that? And what do we call it? Yep, snow angels, my favorite. I certainly dropped by to say hello at the igloo home of an Eskimo. So in our Earth book, it talked about the home being the home for you and for me, but people live in different places. So these children, they live kind of like around the same place that we live, maybe not. But children who live in this part of the world, I want to just go back to our other pages and see if they talk about that a little bit. Okay, so it talks about maybe like the continents. So maybe different people on different continents in different cities and countries around the world live differently than we do. Well, the people where the polar bear is, they live near and in igloos. They are Eskimos. So I'm going to show you their igloo. Igloo is literally a house made of ice. So he said he stopped by to say hello to the Eskimo. I'd call out politely, I can't stop to chat. I'm simply too busy exploring for that. And do you see their moon? Maybe I walk where the ice gets thin, and just like a polar bear, I dive right in. But I wouldn't stay long in my swimming hole. I point my nose north and explore. And there he is, walking around, finds his way to the icy pond, and bloop, jumps in. Now that's only safe for polar bears because they're meant to be in there in their habitat. But sometimes where I live, when it's winter, they have signs that says do not go in on the ice because it's thin and you can fall in, and that is not safe for us. But I'm sure there are other places where you can go. I know some people do fishing, and they have different places where you can go to ice skate, but they would definitely let you know if it's safe to do that. And here it is, the North Pole. If I were a polar bear, I'd be so proud. When I reach the pole, I'd growl out loud. But adventure awaits, and off I'd go, one stop ahead of my tracks in the snow. And there he is. Reached the South Pole. There's the polar bear. The end. Thank you for joining me. And later in the week, I'll have another story about another polar bear. This story is a big book. Hope you'll join me.